Hey, how you doing? I'm Tommy Maloney, the DIY Do-It-Yourself Guru, and I'd like to thank you for participating in our ongoing YouTube series in which we provide specific steps on how to handle any DIY home improvement project. As always, I'm joined today by my right-hand man, my brother-in-law, Merle. Say hello to the fans, Merle. The subject of today's Do-It-Yourself epaulette is how to install a hardwood floor. This project was prevaricated by our good friend Tiny, who plays pinochle with us Thursday nights down by the Velvet Lounge. Now, don't let Tiny's name diffuse you. I mean, this guy will eat a pizza, a cheesesteak, and fries covered with chili and cheese, and wash it down with a case of beer, and then ask for seconds. He's freaking huge. So Tiny hired us to replace the old linoleum in his spare room with a new hardwood floor as he was moving in his mom. She's getting up in the years and don't get around so good no more. So it's me and Merle, we go over to the hardware store to see Benny. You remember Benny? He's that oddball kid with the face piercings. And the first thing Benny asks is this a floating floor? And I says, what the hell are you talking about, Benny? We're installing a floor in a house, not a boat. What a wise ass. So Benny shows us the hardwood flooring. Madon. It's like Baskin Roberts over there with the 101 flavors. So we settle on a floor called the Tuscaloosa Pine. It looked good, and besides that, it was on clearance. So me and Merle, we haul the new flooring over by Tiny's and tear out the old linoleum. But then we see the plywood underneath. It's worse than the linoleum. It's all rotten and full of them little bugs. What do you call those things, Merle? The ants, fleas, what do you call them, Merle?
Termites.
Yeah, that's right, termites. So me and Merle figured we'd do Tiny a favor and tear out the old plywood too. Then we installed the new hardware floor. There was nothing to it. It snapped together like a jigsaw puzzle. We started on the far side of the room, worked toward the door. We had the entire floor done in under an hour. So Tiny's sitting in his TV room, stuffing his face, so we call him to come to test drive the new floor. So he comes in, strolls across the new floor, and positions himself dead center in the middle of the room. Only then I noticed that the floor is buckling underneath. It's sloping downwards. Then it starts cracking, and then boom, the boards fly apart like a bunch of wooden springs. It was like an explosion in a sawmill. As for Tiny, he dropped like a ton of bricks, no pun intended. All we could see was his upper torso. He was stuck between the floor joists like a cork in a bottle of Irish whiskey. Me and Merle, we try to pull him out, man. That guy is heavy, no way. Like I said, he's a big guy. And Merle, he sprained his sacroiliac. Show me your back brace, Merle. Poor guy. If it hadn't been for the speedy response of the brave men and women of the Gumbo Fire Department, poor old Tiny would still be stuck there. So I goes back to the hardware store to give Benny a piece of my mind about this substandard Tuscaloosa Pine that he unloaded on us. And he asked me, did you install a subfloor? And I says, why the hell would I install a floor under another floor? Incredible. After all of this, ladies and gentlemen, Tiny's mom changed her retirement plans and decided to move into a nursing home instead of into Tiny's spare room. But it worked out good because she's in the room right next door to Tiny, who's spending some time there convoluting from the injuries incurred thanks to Benny and his cheap hardwood flooring. The bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, if you're thinking about installing a hardwood floor, my advice to you is simple. Don't do it. Pay the money, hire a professional, don't do it. Once again, I'd like to thank you for participating in our ongoing YouTube series in which we provide specific steps on how to handle any DIY home improvement project. Thank you and have a nice day.